Hey y'all, let's finish up those shoes that I started the other day, and we're going to use some different techniques. The first one we're going to use is stencils and fabric markers. Now I got these fabric markers either at Pop Shelf or Dollar General, just some really inexpensive ones. I wanted to try them out. I didn't want to spend a lot of money because I didn't know if I would like it. So let's see how they work. I just used a stencil that I had in my stencil drawer, and I picked a butterfly that I'd like to use, and I picked a blue that I thought would go really good with the shoes that we started, with the checks that we started last week. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold it down. It's not, Pixie spray won't work on this and because it's curved, and so I'm just having to hold it down the best I can and work one side at a time. So I have the the blue marker, a dark blue, and I'm just going to go inside the stencil and just draw around. And it really seems pretty easy. It's not bleeding. It's just like coloring. You're just coloring with stencils. And once I get this one butterfly done, I'm going to use a charcoal gray in the middle of the butterfly, and then I will repeat the pattern on the other side. So on the other shoe. So when you see me doing everything that we're doing today, I'm going to edit out the part of doing the same process on the other shoe so that we're not just wasting time being repetitive. So how many of you have tried fabric stencils? Let me know in the comments what you think, and since I'm liking this, what brand you're using, because I would love to have some good fabric markers, not stencils, fabric markers. And if there's any tricks that you have when you use it. But since this is my first time using it, I'm liking it so far. And it's like I said, you're just coloring in the stencil, and you have to hold it in place so that it doesn't move around. And once I get this done, we're going to move on to the other shoe, and then we're going to figure out what we want to do next. And I'm going to use different paints and textures and styles to complete this shoe. I'm just having fun. It's just going to be a mishmash of everything and just kind of very springy. I'm looking at the shoes and I'm thinking it's reminding me of like a picnic tablecloth. And so that's the theme that I'm doing, is kind of like outdoor springy theme. And the colors, I'm not just using blues. We're going to mix it up a little with some blues, purples, and yellows. So once I do this butterfly, as you can see, isn't that cute? Look how well it turned out. We're going to put some purple flowers on the other side, and then that's all the stenciling that we're going to be doing. No, take that back. I'm going to put one little butterfly on the side. But anyway, I digress. So I really enjoyed the spring. So, and butterflies and bees are my favorite. I don't want to do bees on these shoes though, because they're a little harder, and I'm not quite sure of the detail that I would be able to get with it. But again, these markers have two tips. They have a medium fine tip and a very fine tip. Now the thing about these are, the brand that I have here, they're already fraying at the end, just the little bit that I've used. That's why I need something that's probably going to be a little, keep its shape a little better, because the fray is going to make it more difficult to stencil if that's something that you're doing. But then there's always the fine tip, so that's good. So I'm just putting a little yellow dot in the middle of this purple flower, and I'm going to put one on both sides of the tennis shoe. Then again, we're going to go ahead and repeat that on the other shoe. I'm sorry I didn't show it to you yet, but this is really cute. I'm doing the yellow dot first on this one. I'm a little backwards. I'm getting ahead of myself and thinking I'm all that, because I've done 3 or 4 stencils now with markers. But anyway, so this is just a really fun little project. If you can get a stencil, one thing I thought of doing is I could make a stencil with my Cricut. And if I do stencils with my Cricut, since it's the tape, you can put that down, and that would actually work better than a plastic stencil, because you can just stick it to the shoe and then work with it that way. So you could have all fun. If you have a Cricut, that's probably what I would do next, is something like that. And again, don't forget, you can paint on these shoes. So I could have used a stencil with paint, but I'm going to use my dotting tools for with the paint next. after we get this, we're going to put a little yellow butterfly on the side. And so far, I'm loving this. The flowers with the blue butterfly in the middle looks really good with the checks. And since the darker checks, the darker blue in the middle of the checks somehow got a little purple hue to it, even though it's blue, kind of a dark periwinkle. So that's why I went ahead and used the purple on the one flowers. And then I just did a little yellow butterfly on the side, and I'm just outlining it with the purple pen, a lighter purple pen, just to give it some definition. And then I added some little extra little lines for the butterfly on the side. So this is just, like I said, it's super easy. This was my day to just have me time. That's why I'm pre-recording this video. I was sitting there. Just sometimes when you're live, it's harder to just kind of not have a plan and just go with it. So when you do a recorded video, I can stop, I can think for a little bit and make some decisions, and it helps me a lot. And so I just turn my music on, have some tunes, a little inspiration, and no distractions, and it's just me and my craft room, which is really fun. So I encourage y'all to do that. It's a really good way to just kind of meditate and de-stress and just, when the house could be empty, and just have a good time by yourself, just being creative. And that's what I like to do. So next thing I'm going to do is when I use doing my dotting, I use acrylic paints. So you want to make sure and I use Deco Art Americana as my paint. So I'm going to use a really pretty yellow, and I'm going to use a blue, one of the blues that I used in the shoe. And I'm going to do some yellow flowers and some blue flowers. And what I have is I have a little tool that is actually, it's a dotting tool. It's a 3D image. And that is, I have different shapes of flowers. So that makes it really easy, so I don't have to do each petal at a time. But it took a lot of practice to learn how to use these 3D image tools, because you can get too much paint on it and make a big blob. Instead of making little petals, you're going to make a big blurry blob. So that took me a little bit to use, but it sure is a lot easier than doing individual petals with the dotting tools. So, and then once I do this, and it's hard to see because it's yellow, but I'll show you when you see the blue, when we get started on the blue. But I will, in the yellow ones, I'm going to put a blue dot, and in the blue ones, I'll put a yellow dot. And I have 5 different sizes of florals with this tool. So I'm sitting there thinking, what color should I use? I haven't decided blue yet. Now I've decided blue. So yeah, there's different size florals. So I'm going to use a little bigger. So I just did the back side of the shoe. I did the yellow just going down the middle of the back. And then on the sides, I'm getting a bigger tool here. On the sides, I'm going to use a little bigger of a flower. And again, you really have to be careful not to oversaturate that image, the 3D dots, because if you do, you're going to get a big blurb, blob. So I'm just kind of randomly placing these on the side. And I just wanted each section of the shoe to have something different, unique to it. And after I finished this, I did go back and where the yellow yellow butterfly was, I didn't have anything else. So I did add 3 or 4 blue flowers to that side also. But you'll see that when I show you the final shoe. So this is just, like I said, a real fun way to decorate. If you have your kids, they want to create their own shoes, you can help them. You can use napkins. I've done napkins on shoes before too, and that's a real fun thing to do, is to decoupage napkins. And let's see, let me show you that blue. Why am I not showing you the blue? Well, that's crazy. So I'm going to do the blue over on this side. Interesting. I thought for sure I was videoing where I showed it to you. But I'm just putting the blue on this side, and then I'll put the yellow dots in the middle. And I'm going to wait for it to dry. Once this is all dry, we will seal it, and I can either spray it with polyacrylic. I can spray it with a high heat engine spray, which I like to use because it's weather resistant. The polyacrylic is water resistant after it's dry, but it's not waterproof. And and I would, if you're going to wash these, I would just, since we're going to spray the whole shoe, you probably can just sponge wash them, but I wouldn't throw them in the washing machine. I wouldn't do a heavy wash on it. Best thing to do is probably put some insoles in it and replace them periodically, but you can just hand damp wash them with a little bit of soap and water, but you probably want to seal them twice. I'll be doing a double seal on these. So now, because the yellow flower is a little dry, you want, before you start getting crazy with the dots so you don't smear everything, just let everything dry a little bit. So now I'm putting the blue dots in the middle of the yellow flowers, and we're almost done here. I'm really enjoying this. It's just fun. I'm going to take these on my cruise with me. I'll just be the crazy lady with painted shoes, because I have these. I have the black ones that I did with the orange and yellow flowers. And I did another pair of, I did the other ones for Sister Denise, Doodle Denise Designs. I did the dog paws for her. So I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be my thing. I'm gonna always have my own design of shoes, my own design. Oh, Lulu's designer shoes. So anyway, I have my own design of shoes. Hey, if you're liking this, give me a follow, will you? I know a lot of times people just watch and they just move on, but a follow would really be helpful to me. It lets me know that you're liking me. It's letting me know that somebody was here watching. And if you want to throw a comment in there, which you like to see me do in the future, if this is interesting to you, if you like seeing me paint shoes, if you want to see me do more intricate dotting. Right now I'm making some shoes. I'm making a mug for Ozzy right now. So I'm just having a lot of fun just doing different techniques, using different media. On the mug, I'm using glass acrylic paint, so that'll be fun to do. I think once I understand how to do it on glass, I'll go ahead and do a project and show you that. But I hope you had fun. Come back and see me. Give me a follow. And here's the final shoes. I hope you like them. They turned out really cute, and I'm going to be proud to wear them. You have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. Bye.